start streaming to change tonight's title of the game to Coasties. And then there was a Mindflayer.
Fall of Vecna. No, that was the other one.
Actually, the last game was Home, Part 2 of 1,000,000 for loose cannons. So, who wants to tell me what happened last game?
There was a Mindflayer.
There was a Mindflayer.
But before that, we headed to the bandit camp, or the Feral Theater kid camp, but they're also kind of baby bandits, so that's kind of cute. Question mark? We learned quite a bit about things that are sus about the Caring Hands School, including but not limited to nobody ever sees the principal. Everybody learns to... people who didn't know how to read are learning how to read suspiciously quickly. People who are suddenly caring very much about their grades and their very vague futures, who would have had no reason to care about this before. Also, there's this oatmeal that they serve for lunch, and there's a ton of it. That seems kind of weird. There are wards that are set to keep people in, but don't keep people out. And nobody ever gets expelled for bad behavior. They just somehow become committed to their vague futures by some kind of hand wave? Question mark. Anyway, so we hung out with the kiddos for a while. Corinne taught them how to set better traps. Grimm tried their best to teach Mouse that potatoes don't cook in your pocket. They really don't. But Mouse is convinced otherwise. I guess we'll see how that goes. Yeah, we headed out to Kiss's barn for the night. In the morning, Bones talked Eliana through her romantic choices. And then we headed over to the Caring Hands School, including with Corinne playing so wonderfully as frivolous noblewoman, full of frivolity. And we observed some classes. We had a bit of a tour. And then we're going to pick up, and then most recently, Grimm looked through the wall into the principal's office and saw the Mindflayer. What did I miss?
The Mindflayer seems to have also seen Grimm.
Yeah, sure did.
I mean, nobody else knows yet. But there was definitely some looking over and some, I believe, light tentacle waving. And a charisma save that I genuinely don't know if it was resolved last session or if it was very much not resolved last session. So I guess we'll find out together.
That from my memory. Oh my god. From my memory, that was more of a Hannah rolls a die for Grimm's own charisma save just to see if they can keep a straight face. And
yes, that was what it was.
Okay, that's good because I was looking at it. I was looking at it when I logged in today, being like, "Oh, that's not a very high number." But that would explain that. Thank you.
That was a deception check to bluff your way through. I am definitely not looking at you.
Excellent. That's the only thing that I can think of to add.
Yeah. And then from Side Chatville, Grimm and Corinne had a very sweet evening and are going to have another date night when they get back to Waterdeep.
There was supposed to be discussion of substance, but then there was a very bad con save. And it became pure fluff, which is also nice.
Yep, someone got cold very quickly.
These things happen.
And they happen to Corinne a lot, it seems like, poor kiddo.
She doesn't have any feelings about it, don't worry. It's fine.
It's Corinne, she doesn't have feelings.
No, what are feelings?
ASI. Or feet.
Feelings are for other people.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I just have thoughts and opinions, but no feelings.
Lots of facts.
Feelings are for Eliana.
Corinne and Say just sitting in a room going,
Yeah.
feelings aren't things.
No.
Hashtag rogue things.
Hashtag rogue things.
Oh, and Eliana might write some poetry at some point.
Yes.
Depending on how other things plays out and how long she gets to be in the personal
Sure.
poet role.
Yeah.
But as far as she knows right now, she may have to write some poetry at some point.
BBD.
We'll find out together.
So I suppose that Grim, with that 13, how is what's that face look like?
So everybody, because Grim had definitely waited until not Vecna, Professor Denon was out of the room before they did this, and looks like everybody else was. Corinne was right on his heels. Eliana was following. Grim definitely froze, double take. Expression is so initially is for the first several beats after sort of the freeze and stumble happened when Grim looked at the wall and saw the Mindflayer. So that was sort of the initial reaction. The second reaction was realizing the Mindflayer was looking back, and that was just for the first few beats the pure Grim the sort of non-reaction that they get when they're completely overwhelmed, like blue screen of death, completely blank, is what we would have had at the end of last session. That will likely resolve into utter panic, depending on how many seconds pass between now and anything else happening.
Sure thing. Corinne and Eliana, you notice after a few seconds you've kind of gotten a little bit farther away. Grim isn't with you.
Corinne will turn back and just oh, I'm so put a hand on the professor's shoulder. Just say, I'm so sorry. It looks like my bodyguard seems to have discovered something in the kitchen. It snaps her fingers a few times. In the direction of the kitchen.
Yeah, Bones will also head back to head to the kitchen to. Oh, I'll fetch him, mistress.
Meanwhile, Eliana just goes to the kitchen.
And Grim, I think, does take sort of one stumbling, getting their feet back under them, step towards the door. Is the store? The store is open, right? Eliana's just come back through it.
Yeah, it's open.
Okay. Awakened mind, they will start with Corinne. Very sort of tone is blank. She would certainly, I think, recognize. I mean, you can say what she recognized, but she has certainly heard Grim trying to make words when they are completely overloaded before. We need to leave. I've seen the headmaster. We should withdraw quickly. I believe he is aware that I know.
Having heard this, she will turn back to the professor. She's excellent. I think, is there anything else left to see? I think you've done a very thorough tour. I think we've seen almost everything.
And then they will repeat basically the same message. Maybe not word perfect, but certainly the substance of it to first Eliana and then Bones as well.
Go ahead.
Eliana's eyes get a little bit wider, and she nods. And then she will start to exit.
And Corinne will also do that kind of thing where she'll loop her arm through the professor's arm, and kind of do the joint guide towards the door. We're best friends now. We've known each other for we're essentially confidants at this point.
Yeah, he lets you, but you get the feeling that he's letting you. As he escorts you out the door.
That's out the door of the main yard as well, or just out of the cafeteria.
He leads you out of the main doors as well, kind of lets out a sharp whistle, and your horses are brought.
Oh, excellent! It's so charming. So, I am only sorry that we could not meet the headmaster, but we will look for them or a representative at the fundraiser later this week, so that we have the opportunity to speak about donating. I'm honestly really shocked that there's no arts program. So we'll love to see who we can discuss that about.
I'll have to write a poem about this place, maybe for the fundraiser. Maybe my poem will be ready in time for the fundraiser, milady.
Oh, it's genius. Just so, yes. And, like, once again, like, tilts her head towards the sky and, like, extends her hands open to the heavens as well. Just like, you're so inspired. It's brilliant. Yes. We can work on that as soon as we hit the road again. And turns back to the professor. Thank you again so much for your time. It's really quite a charming establishment that you're running here. You said, how long has the school been here?
About 2 years.
2 years, excellent. Thank you ever so much. We'll be in touch with any additional questions, or perhaps, I suppose we'll speak to the representative at the fundraiser. But here's hoping you'll hear from us again soon. And then kind of like waves her fingers, just the fingers of her hands back at him.
Yeah,
as the horses are brought back.
He awkwardly raises his hands and gives you like a single wave as you baffle him and disappear.
Yeah, as soon as the coast is clear, there's a visible like shift in Corinne's posture of like, okay, we're done now.
And I will stipulate that Grimm's deception roll leaving the school was a 17, so they do sort of have their face schooled back to sort of their basic neutral expression.
Yeah, I mean, severe concern is generally acceptable on a bodyguard's face. So.
The panic, probably not so much.
Also, I think we all have passive insights above 17.
Yeah, that's fine. You all, anyone with a passive insight of 17 or above definitely knows that Grimm is freaked the fuck out still.
Right, so Corinne will like head back to her horse to Duncan, and will go to mount. So back to the camp.
I think like glancing over their shoulder, or far enough away to be out of earshot. Oh, actually, glancing over their shoulder, Grimm would like to look and see if we are being followed to the best of their ability.
Sure, roll a perception check.
11.
It's fine.
Looks over their shoulder one more time. Grimm knows. Their perception is terrible. Are we being followed?
I will look to see if we're being followed.
Corinne will also look.
I usually don't believe in double rolling, but Grimm knows. They don't know what their passive perception is, but they know it's terrible compared to the rest of y'all. Oh, this seems fine.
No, you don't see anyone immediately.
Yeah.
Looks good to me.
Is a Mindflayer.
Oh, what?
I'm sorry, what?
An actual Mindflayer.
Headmaster. Sort of points at Bones and nods.
What did Bones say there?
An actual Mindflayer?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's baffled. She's just repeating it.
I'd like to roll to see if Eliana knows anything about Mindflayers.
Sure. Yeah. You can roll Arcana, History, Survival, whatever you want.
That's a natural 20.
Nice!
Oh, yes. Give me a moment, I will find you all of the things that you know about Mindflayers.
Yeah, somehow she knows all about Mindflayers. I guess I'm going to have to figure out how.
I feel like there was a lot of panic research into the Underdark and the Undermountain.
Yeah. That makes sense.
There was, in fact, a lot of panic research into the Underdark.
I believe one of the only books that we had in our library at one point was Volo's Guide to Monsters.
I'm pretty sure it was an autographed copy.
Yeah, although
Yeah.
whether that gives you good information about Mindflayers or other information about
You know,
Mindflayers, I suppose.
Mindflayers are just creepy enough that you are able to confirm most of the information in Volo's Guide.
That seems fine.
Because you don't have to add much to a Mindflayer to make it better or more interesting. Mindflayers, illithids, also called mind rulers. In fact, I'm just going to read you this article out loud because it feels like it's straight out of Volos.
That seems fine.
The illithids are called mind flayers by the people of the surface, mind rulers by the rightfully fearful denizens of the Underdark in the Forgotten Realms, and squiddly diddlies by me because I think it's funny. Illithids have been murdering adventurers for their sweet juicy brains since the beginning of time. And they're in the running as one of the most iconic and uniquely Faerunian monsters out there. So much so that they were discussed as the Mindflayer monster in Volo's epic poetry. They also appear in the popular Baldur's Gate novel series. I don't know. Sorry, I'm replacing words in this.
Sure.
Delightful.
So, what you know about Mindflayers? They are quite literally alien beings. They arrived from another planet, or maybe another plane. They're highly intelligent psychic beings from an utterly alien world that is nearly impossible for us to understand. One aspect of their culture that is easy to misunderstand is that they do not mean us well. The whole brain-eating thing is fundamental to their culture, not a choice. And they will literally wither away and die if they do not consume the brain of an intelligent creature, at least every few months. This often makes diplomacy with them difficult, as even when deals are struck, they still think of everything not illithid as a potential meal. Mindflayers think of themselves as masterminds, plotting and manipulating everyone around them to serve their own needs. They hatch from eggs that are hatched from eggs into a larval form that look like tiny tadpoles. Chosen worthy tadpoles are shoved into a living humanoid skull where they lay baby mindflayers, which parasitically consume the host's brain and essentially become the new brain. And when they're done with their host, they emerge fully born as mindflayers.
Thank you for editing the process of reproduction.
Wow.
Yeah.
This seems fine.
Dropping back into character, Eliana will say, "Oh, I've read some books about those." Ugh.
I believe we met may be an overstatement. Ran into one once in the sewers.
We did. Very early on.
May recall I attempted to stab you with a sword afterwards. Didn't work. You're welcome.
And just kind of like side eyes at Grim. He's like, I think that was a well, yes, it was after that incident, but I think it was a God, what are they called? The brains on feet. Those things.
Intellect Devour.
Yes, those. Also, nasty business. Those.
Didn't see one of those inside, so that's something. So yes, that I glanced through the wall into the headmaster's office, and I suppose and like sort of expression of hopeful but not really believing it. I suppose I don't know for certain that it was the headmaster. I suppose it could have been a student or a visiting instructor.
There's nothing to say that the headmaster isn't a mind flayer, so
I'm not exactly reassured by any of that.
Oh no, none of it is reassuring.
No.
So what do we do now? Get out of here?
Go pick up Mouse and yes. Well, one more glance back over their shoulder. I would say we shouldn't leave it as it is, but I'm not sure.
Firebomb the headmaster's office.
What was that before headmaster's office?
Let's say that one more time, Rebecca.
I missed what Corinne said before headmaster's office.
I could firebomb the headmaster's office.
Grim would like to insight check this statement and they're trying to tell if she's serious. Not great. 13.
I mean, she has fireball beads and alchemist fire.
Grim just nods slowly, like visibly dubious, but also visibly considering it.
It would, if not, I wasn't seriously considering it, but then I realized it could get the children out. But no, I shouldn't be seriously considering this.
Doesn't seem as though there's any reason to preserve it.
Grim is like thinking it over, but they are visibly trying to like slow themselves down as they do. I think I'm trying to decide if that would be better or worse for the students, and what would happen next, and after that, and then after that as well.
Well, what do we think perhaps happened to the students who are suddenly very focused on their studies and their future? Do you have an explanation for that?
I would assume the explanation is that the headmaster is a Mindflayer, which I suppose would be a point in favor of the firebombing, yeah?
Yeah, I would say their brains got maybe eaten.
Bones.
Definitely otherwise influenced.
Bones.
And should I this is Rebecca, not sure whether to continue with Eliana or no, I think she'll just stop and let Bones go.
Yeah. Bones just shakes her head. It seems unlikely. Mindflayers don't need to eat a lot, and teenagers will taste weird, I'm certain. Their brains are all on fire with chemicals. They generally prefer adults. If anything, just latent psionic powers would be enough to control most students.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Could be influencing them towards its own ends, whatever those are. Mm-hmm. And then the Mind Flayer's ends are the futures that they're so concerned about.
Do you suppose that explains the professor? I believe he said. Something seemed not right with that one, as well as sort of a vague gesture indicating everything being not right with everything.
Maybe a thrall?
I beg your pardon?
Thrall. They're like, yeah, they're people who have been kind of swayed by mind flayers more than average. They tend to be servants of mind flayers.
I want to do something now, but I can't be. I don't trust myself.
Grim is going to glance at Corinne and would like to try to insight how antsy and impatient she is. Ooh, 8.
Hard to tell. She's just sitting on her horse with her arms folded. Make of that what you will.
Yeah. I am thinking we were there and gave at least your name. So if we are to do something and be seen, or if it were to be linked to us directly, then it would be linked to us directly. I am thinking that if we are to do something, it would be better done not indirectly, but unseen, if that is possible.
Or, and I'm throwing this out there as an alternate theory, you could go with shock and awe, most damage you can do in a certain period, just to try and, like, don't give them a chance to recover, don't give them a chance to build reinforcements or fall back, just literally break down the doors and just take care of the problem.
Ren points at Bones. I do like that.
However,
that does sound very appealing.
If you are going to go shock and awe, I might not be the correct person to go for that plan. Don't get me wrong, I can bust into a place and fuck it up, but
that's more the style of other people we know.
Wait, where do mind flayers come from again?
Another plane. Another plane.
Another plane. Most of them live in the Underdark.
Could we not send that one packing for at least the time being? And looks at Grim.
Oh, that's interesting. Do I know? So we would just it how much of what Eliana knows would she have? Well, actually, I guess we didn't ask. That was a check to know if she knows something. I guess the question is, do I know if mind flayers are from? I guess the question is, do I know if banishing a given mind flayer would send it to? Banishing any mind flayer would send it back to another plane, or like do I know if some of them are like? Some mind flayers as a species are from another plane, but this mind flayer is from the Underdark, and so it's not actually going to be gone forever.
Hard to tell if banishing it will get rid of it. Like 50-50 it came from another plane versus it came from the Underdark.
Okay, so then I think Grim says, sort of tilts their head to one side, tilts their head to the other side, considering. I think it depends on whether this individual is points up at the sky from elsewhere or down at the ground beside Heather's feet. A different elsewhere, whether it would be gone and stay gone or only be gone for a minute.
From what I read, I thought that they originally came from other planets, but that they have been in the Forgotten Realms long enough that they'd be more established here. I would like to be wrong.
What's the thought? And Corinne's expression turns into one of, well, that was my idea. Next.
Could do a two-pronged attack. Put together a group to take care of whatever is going on at the fundraiser, and a group to take care of here, all in one swoop.
By which you mean send Alina here to shock and awe?
I mean, I wouldn't send only Alina here. She works best with supervision.
Grim definitely chuckles a little bit. And
Phase group's not too far from here, right?
DM, do I remember from the map
Yeah,
of
they're probably like a day away, scouring the woods for something.
a day's ride? So no.
Something else that fucked with Say's mind.
Yeah, no. That seems fine. No slower than as close as Alina and her supervision would be. As close as we are to the fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything that would give us additional options at this point. The fundraiser is tonight, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's think about what we would do at the fundraiser. I think we were originally going to go there to gather information. I would think that if we were going to go, we'd want to have an idea for how to discredit the school.
Well, I also don't think we have need for more information. I think we have all, and like gestures back at the school, I think we have all the information we need at this point. Correct me if I'm mistaken.
We have plenty of information. There are things I'm still curious about, like whether the Hawkwinter family knows that it's a Mindflayer, but I think we have the information. Yes.
Grim is sort of still visibly like gears turning. I think we don't know for certain if this is the end of it or if it goes deeper. If this is one Mindflayer's pet project. or if it answers to someone else.
I don't imagine.
Sorry,
it would work.
Something about that just got me.
I can't imagine that this would be working for a Hawkwinter. They're a military family.
I don't know if it would be a Hawkwinter. Maybe the Hawkwinters are working for it. Or maybe the Hawkwinters are entirely unaware. I don't know where the answers would be if that, other than inside that thing's head. Or desk.
Well, would you like to go check?
I might like to check what it's doing. I'm looking at bones. How safe is the tent?
Pretty secure.
Safe enough to linger for a short while.
Yeah, I think so.
A very short while.
It's hard
10-15 minutes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Can we go there and I will have a look at what our tentacled friend has been up to, or is up to now? Sort of looking at the group in general.
Fine.
That sounds good to me.
Bryn does look a little bit put out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Grim would like to go back to the tent and haul out the silver bowl and attempt to scry the Mindflayer.
Sure. All right.
Should have grabbed a lock of its hair.
Mindflayer's known for their luscious manes.
I think there's a romance novel about that.
Oh, no. Don't even suggest it. No.
All right. Do you need to roll something, I believe?
The Mindflayer needs to roll a wisdom save. Oh, wait, I guess I could put this in the chat box. It's a lot of text. Basically, it is a wisdom save. It gets... I don't know if this is secondhand. I have heard of the target. I feel like it's not... it's certainly not firsthand. I haven't met it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's either secondhand or familiar.
Okay.
I mean, in a way, you met the target.
I was gonna say.
I mean, if it's firsthand,
it waved at you.
yeah, I will let the DM decide whether. So if it's secondhand, it gets +5 to its save. If it's firsthand, if the wave counts, then it's just a straight up roll. It gets my DC of 17. Assume it can be scryed on at all, which Grim doesn't know that scry-proof things are a thing, but
You haven't tried to scry on bones yet. So you see the headmaster's office. You see the illithid sitting at his desk writing. You feel him pause. And you hear a voice in your head saying,
that seems fine.
"You can simply ask what you would like, Warlock."
Oh shit.
You can
You
what?
could simply ask what you would like, Warlock. And does anything else happen, or it just like I am allowed to continue scrying on it?
You're just allowed to continue scrying on it. He's just writing.
Well, I don't. To be clear, Rim cuts ends the scry instantly. Pushes back away from the bowl. In fact, pushes the bowl with their hands and flips it over so the water spills out into the straw.
Okay.
And is like, breathing fast and hard. I've changed my mind. We can firebomb it.
That was an awfully quick turnaround.
I didn't see anything that it was writing, right? I certainly didn't stay long enough to look.
Why not?
Because it spoke to me. And I panicked.
Well, that would do the trick, yes.
Grim will stand up and sort of pick up the bowl, brush the straw out of it, pacing a bit. It did not seem concerned. It was writing something. I am sorry for wasting your time.
Wasting our... You didn't.
I did a bit. I did not learn anything of use.
You tried. You could have, but you didn't, and it doesn't sound like through fault of your own.
Grim nods at that you tried. Stops walking, turns the bowl over in their hands. Takes a deep, steadying breath. It did not appear to be coming after us, which is what I had hoped. It did not appear to be sucking out the brains of students, which is not what I had hoped, of course, and not really what I expected, but I did need to see if it was reacting to what we had done. I don't know what it was writing, whether it was the letter to the Hawkwinters or just another lesson plan. So I think no news is no news, and we're at the same decision point as we were before, but thank you for indulging me.
All right. It was worth it to try. I do so it is. Wait, did she realize that? I can't. You'd think I would remember whether Eliana knows the Mindflayer is aware of us, but I can't remember that.
Yes, Grim did say that it had seen them, both initially and just now when they were scrying.
Thank you for indulging me.
Of course.
All right, so it does know that we're here. It could still be surprised if we firebomb the place.
Well, we could approach and ask it what it wants.
We could. They're usually not very interested in negotiating with people, though.
Grim's expression is pure, like, I hate this, but but like also it's a little bit their bad idea. Like, there's a little hint of like their bad idea mischief expression. It did say I could ask it questions. I don't want to, but if you wanted to.
What?
What?
That was Eliana.
Yeah, no, I know. And that was Grim.
You could ask it questions?
It said I could ask what it wants. I assume instead of, like, holds up the bowl, spying on it, although I did not state for it to clarify.
That's awfully friendly for a Mindflayer.
Friendly or egotistical?
Sort of tilts the bowl in sort of a 50-50 gesture.
I'm sure egotistical's more likely.
I do, as I said, I'm rather warming up. I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to be a pun, but warming up to the idea of the firebombing. Although I do think that if there's something incriminating in its desk, it would be a shame to burn it. But if you would like to ask it a question and then stab it quite effectively, like head tilt of might not hate that.
Well, to your earlier point, we still don't know exactly how deep this goes. Is it one lone Mindflayer that's just sort of on a ego trip, trying to take over, I don't know, the minds of the youth or something? Or is it acting on a larger scope? Are there more? Is this just the beginning? Some context might be helpful.
Grim's nodding.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think Grim was just going to ask, is that an argument for leaving it B and going to the fundraiser, is that an argument for something else, or is that an observation that has not yet become an argument, although it is a good observation?
It's an observation more than anything else. I don't know what would be gained from the fundraiser, to be honest. The original intent was to go for, information gathering. I think we have all the information we need in terms of identifying what is going on at the school.
I think
any additional information would be gathered by the actual conversation with the Mindflayer itself.
I think the only thing we would gain there would be some sort of a dramatic. I am just going to talk this through. The only thing I could think of is some sort of a dramatic expose to the noble families to convince them to stop funding the Caring Hands School. But I don't see that as very likely to succeed.
Not without evidence.
And the Mindflayer would still be out there.
Well, all you need is a really good scandal. As soon as there's a really good scandal in play, the funds will dry up faster than you can blink at it.
That is true. But I think it probably won't help us very much. Unless you have a brilliant idea for a scandal.
Helps no.
Insight check now.
Oh, actually, several noble families have sent their children to the school. Now, obviously, Raleigh's told us not to mention his escape to his father, but we do have at least one other escapee from a noble family. And that's not exactly a winning argument for a reform school if they can't keep track of their charges.
Grim is just staring, like their jaw is hanging just a little bit open.
I can't imagine it'd be... I mean, if we really want to get people into it, I can't imagine Raleigh's family would be thrilled at the idea of him turning into a roadside bandit.
He is the son of the watch. Although he did ask us not to mention to his father, and I'd like to honour that if possible.
I suppose it might...
I'm also distinctly aware that it's almost winter, and most of these kids have never wintered outside of a house, much less outside of a city.
That's true.
It does occur to me that he might change his mind if he knew that it would be framed in a way that he asked you not to tell his father so that his father would not come after him, but I don't know. I did not speak with him, but he might feel differently if he knew that the request was, may I tell not only your father, but the entire upper class, so that your father is very ashamed. Or he might not.
It could go either way. We can check in with them.
Regardless, that is very good. It's a very good idea. The scandal. And the funds. Would that be instead of talking to the Mindflayer? Like, a little hopeful? Maybe more than a little hopeful?
Sadly, no. I wish I had better news on that front, but no. This would be disrupting the fundraising efforts. We still don't know why it's here, or what it's doing, or what its intents are, or who it's working with, if anyone. We're not going to get that information by causing a scandal at a fundraiser.
Grim is nodding, still visibly unhappy. I'm saying visibly a lot tonight, but it's true. But, like, a little less panicked and a little more resolved.
We could also still destroy the place.
There is always that. That is an option. I would... It feels absurd to say I would want to ensure, I know you all would also want to ensure this, that it would be done in a way that would not be worse for the students.
Of course.
I am thinking that if we were told truly that they're not bringing in another band of students immediately, then what is done regarding those who are here. I'm thinking that I would not wish to leave them, but also that it does not seem that, and they're sort of trying to think it through out loud as they're talking. It does not seem that a day or two will make things worse for them.
Well, there is the fact that the Mindflayer knows they're being looked into.
Which could mean either it would be a very good time to accelerate whatever plan it has, or it would be a very good time to continue as it is and not create additional cause for concern.
The Mindflayer seems pretty unconcerned about us.
Which is odd, because adventurers generally challenge mind players. They didn't mention anything.
So do we speak with it and then decide whether to take further action? Well, I think there will be further action no matter what, but what the further action will be. Improvise that part.
Yeah, be prepared to run or to blast. Or a middle course.
Liz, if you're talking, we cannot hear you.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, okay. Grim would like to insight Corinne and see if she's getting more unhappy or less unhappy. 20. Dirty.
I mean, is there action to be taken? Because she's interested. She's interested in the action to be taken.
I mean, so it seems like we're settling on talking to the Mindflayer.
Shall we go have a chat? You have a chat, not me.
I can certainly try. Prepare to run if necessary. Or we can do it from a distance, perhaps. I don't know if that's doable with the... And she kind of like makes vague, magic-y hand gestures that don't actually correspond to anything.
Shaking their head, looking like trying not to look panicked, but definitely like low-key panicking. They have forgotten that Eliana can cast message.
Well, I suppose we are returning to the school.
All right, let's go.
Can we at least sneak in this time? I really don't want to go through the whole show pony dance again.
Yes. Oh, you're going to have to tell me what forest bathing is sometime.
Oh, it's just... It's literally just sending someone out to spend an extended amount of time in the woods. That's all it is.
What's the bathing part? Is it bathing in the idea? Is it like bathing in the concept of the woods?
Sort of. So you know how when you're like an actual bath, you're submerging yourself in water. This is just submerging yourself in forest.
Ah. Oh, so it's the rich people version of living in the woods. Got it.
More or less, yes. It's how rich people hike.
Rich people are so confusing. It's just called camping.
Oh, no. You would never see a noble camping. The not of their own volition, if anyone else was there to witness it. It would be,
Who's now side-eyeing Corinne.
No, they have to give everything a name. It's, they oftentimes will, it's never just camping, they'll bring along a sort of a cart that has everything they would potentially ever need. So imagine someone casts tiny hut, but it exists perpetually for you, and it's an actual physical structure. It's got sort of a camp, like a full stove in it. It's got a restroom with plumbing and the whole 9 yards. It's they call it glamour camping, glamping. Some people call it.
Bones' eyes go wide, and a mischievous grin just crosses her face, and she goes, "Perhaps they have an unseen servant in there too."
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay, I'm definitely going to tease Kiss for the fact that she is forest bathing.
Bones.
Yes?
Eliana's mouth just opens and closes a few times, and then she shakes her head. All right. Let's go.
We ran back to the school. It was just keeping their head way down. And we return outside the school.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, we're gonna sneak.
Did you guys bring your horses this time, or no?
That's a good question, isn't it?
Do you guys break down the tent and put the tent up closer, and then put your horses in there? Because that's also a possibility.
I would like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tent can be assembled and be assembled quickly. Or
I like this.
equivalent. All right. What time of day is it? We got there about
lunchtime between.
Okay.
You got there late breakfast, so breakfast had been put away, but lunch had not been served yet. So this is probably after lunch at this point, between the walking back and forth.
Okay.
Because honestly, it would probably be almost early evening because I did say you guys were a few hours away.
Okay. Oh wow. Grim had forgotten we were that far away when they suggested we go all the way back to the tent. But also was freaked the fuck out enough that they were going to take, and they weren't thinking about it, but they were going to take sort of any sense of security they could. So I think even at a distance they would have suggested going back to the tent, even knowing it was bananas. So delightful. No wonder Kieran is pissed. Okay. They are not going to lead the sneakery because, obviously.
When we get closer, Eliana will put up an enhanceability again on her and Grim.
Oh.
For better hiding purposes. But only when we're actually within range of the school, because that only lasts for an hour.
Sure.
So, chat box. And we're doing the advantage on dexterity checks version.
Makes sense.
Corinne will also suggest that instead of going in the main door, we go to the outside window where the headmaster's office ballpark is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and try
that's what Eliana
peek in that way.
Be doing.
Yeah.
Sure. Go ahead.
To addressing to sort of Corinne and Bones, shall we tag along, or do you want us to let you go and watch from distance?
You're the one who can talk with your brain to another brain. You should be there.
Okay. Then we'll prepare to sneak.
All right. So, you guys are planning on sneaking through the headmaster's office window?
I think, am I hearing sneak up to the window and have a peek inside first?
That's what
Yes.
I've been thinking / hearing.
Okay. I will need a round of stealth checks from everyone.
Oh, hey! Nat 20, total of 22.
Oh, that is a 23.
This Grim is scared stealthy.
Yeah. Good work, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. You, despite it being kind of a manicured lawn, you guys pick your window, stick to it, and you bolt across. Quiet, low, careful. You make your way into to the window. You look into it. You see an empty office. Very similar, almost. It looks identical to what you had seen earlier, Grim, except it's empty.
Interesting.
There's no one in there.
I see that. Shall we go in anyway? I don't think there's anything that I can do. Sorry, I thought for a second I had a thought that, wait, do I have some sort of see invisibility thing? And I sure don't.
Wait, oh, wrong character.
You can see through walls though, right?
Grim nods.
And just kind of keep staring at them for expectantly for a few minutes.
Is there a wall you would like me to see through?
How large is the office?
About the same size as, and Grim will name a room in the last call that is approximately the same size.
Sure.
So is it possible that it's potentially out of the line of sight of the office window?
Oh, interesting. Hold on. And Grim will, Grim will double check how often they can do that thing. Yep, short or long rest. I probably haven't had a short rest since we've been walking,
kind of
and then I've
just
been cast
running back
hiding.
and forth.
Yeah. Grim shakes their head. I can't do that again yet.
Well, cross your fingers, and we'll start to work on the window.
I could put Bosun inside. While you do that, if that would be helpful. And then... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, just kind of shrugs. If you like.
And Grim is sort of already... hesitates, and then squares their shoulders, snaps their fingers very quietly. It is probably more of a the snapping motion than an actual snap, because they're trying to be stealthy. Twice unsummons Bosun and resummons Bosun inside the office. Bosun is invisible.
Alrighty. Trying to think. You hear a happy chainsaw noise coming from inside the office.
Finger snap to unsummon Bosun. And then we'll resummon Bosun outside the office, but here, out of sight. Mm-hmm. He's in there, isn't he? Telepathically to Bosun.
Bosun sends you basically an image of the Mindflayer, and of Bosun getting scritches behind the ear from the Mindflayer.
Where is he exactly?
He's sitting at his desk.
Out of sight. Okay, so we just couldn't see him through the window.
Something about the window, maybe is.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So where Bosun is describing, he should be within line of sight of the window.
Oh yeah, he's probably
but he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grim just is talking quietly, hopefully still riding their stealth check, but like they just put Bosun in the room. And so clearly like the headmaster knows something is up, so they're not like telepathing at this point.
You hear
in there.
Yeah, you hear a creak as the window opens, just a tiny bit.
Oh no.
Hello. We were hoping to talk with our outside words.
There's no response. The window is open though. It's not open a lot. It's open like an inch. Like.
Here goes nothing. Corinne opens the window quietly, but like enough to slip in.
Sure.
And then we'll go in the window, as one does, I guess.
Grim is hot on her heels because they're pretty sure the element of surprise has been lost, so they're not feeling bad about being unstealthy, but is definitely like gonna scurry into the farthest possible corner. Bosun will follow unbidden and land on the Mindflayer's desk.
Eliana stands just outside the window, but she hesitates, and then she enters, but she stays close to the window.
Okay. Bones climbs in the window. She's like, yep, okay, this is a thing that we're doing. I haven't found Bones' token. I don't know why it's here. Or I don't know why it's not here, rather.
Huh.
It's missing. Yay. Hold on.
Yeah.
I will make a Bones token. Might not be ideal, but it will be functional.
Of course, a Mindflayer has some sort of illusion window thing. Like, you can't just have anybody walking by and seeing a Mindflayer in the office.
No.
That makes a great deal of sense. I think Bosun is probably... no, Bosun doesn't care if he's visible or not. He's still invisible.
Alright. I'm just grabbing this really quick, and I will put it on a thing, and then we will be all caught up and ready to go. It's gonna load in. Yeah, huge.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh, she's cute.
He's so sassy looking. That makes sense.
Oh, I haven't posted this art. I will post this in the art channel.
Delightful. What's our friend the Mindflayer doing?
He looks at you all. He seems unconcerned by you. Mostly looks at you, Grim.
Grim is basically pressed back into that corner and trying to become one with the walls. Like they're trying to do their cool like post up leaning on the walls thing. But it's not working. They're just like retreating into the corner.
So, a bit unusual to run into a Mindflayer in a reform school outside of the city.
He just turns to Grim.
Oh. I guess I'm gonna roll charisma save to see how that goalkeeping is doing. 15. Keeping it together, but only just. So, lifts their chin slightly, but shakes their head. Like clearly terrified, but determined, and tilts their head towards Corinne. Like meets the Mindflayer's tentacly glaze and tilts their head towards Corinne. The vibe is like, talk to that one.
He makes a noise that sounds almost frustrated and turns to Corinne. Puts a long-fingered hand out, and even though Bosun is invisible, gently scritches behind Bosun's ear flappies. Bosun lets out happy chainsaw noises at Trainer.
The noise that it makes. Actually, I think Grim will just try. Straightens up very slightly off the wall. Will drop into awakened mind to the Mindflayer. Unless you don't speak common. Or...
You all hear a voice in your head that says, I speak common.
Grim snaps, then talk to her, and is done.
So was it just fresh air, more sunshine, bit drier than the Underdark? Well, what brings you to these woods?
I have come to bring order to chaos.
Okay. But you realize it's just inherently part of them being teenagers, right?
All humanoids are chaos. And he's not talking out loud, he is talking in y'all's minds.
I was just going to ask, is he still talking to all of us?
Yep,
or are we only
all
here?
of
Okay.
you.
So hypothetically, when you're talking about bringing order, what does order look like for you? Because it can look like the City Watch think they have one definition of order. There's cultists who have their own definition of order, of course. What does order mean, really?
And you see his tentacles kind of sway a little bit in annoyance. I bring order for when they come.
Oh, that seems fine.
Who's there?
The Great Ones.
I'm sorry, what?
He just turns his head towards you, Grim. And you feel a wave of feelings that are foreign to you, but like you know when you bring your friends home to your parents don't quite approve?
I do, but Grim doesn't.
Grim doesn't, but that's the feeling Grim has right now.
Yeah. Grim will say out loud, I believe he means the creature and its kin. Does it have kin?
It's coming.
What was that? Last word?
So it's coming.
Certainly hope not. it's even more disappointed in me than it was before.
Yeah.
So it's you preparing the way for something else. Are there more of you? Or do you all just work independently?
It kind of tilts its head to the side and looks at Grim like...
Grim just is just shaking their head slow, like even before the head tilt, it was sort of that slow, like protesting all of this head shake, that turns into a more definitive, like, answer the negative head shake. We're really not in touch. Kind of can't believe they're having this conversation.
Yet.
Oh. Manages to take one hand off the wall to gesture sort of at the school in general. And so these students are meant to be like me.
He nods his head. They have seen the opportunity for greatness and have chosen to seize it.
Grim is just looking at the other three non-mind flayer, the other three beings in the room without tentacles, for any help whatsoever.
Rin just looks very confused, like brow is furrowed, like trying to piece anything together.
Eliana asks, why?
Yeah, it does not give that a response.
Got a feeling.
That one. Grim sort of sinks back against the wall again.
So when you say they saw the potential for greatness, was that in fact their own doing? Or was there some encouragement in that particular direction?
He kind of... tentacles kind of just float idly. They made their choices.
Did they make their choices before they met you? And what was the choice alternative?
They made their choices to come here. They made their choices after seeing me. Many have left. I have not pursued them.
I would argue the choice to come here is not really... When one is being scooped up by the City Watch, that's not exactly consenting to a boarding school opportunity.
He shrugs. Eldritch being not very concerned about consent.
So it's semantics.
He kind of just looks at you and then looks back to Grim.
Yeah, Grim is definitely having some thoughts, but is having trouble putting them into words. It isn't sure they want to put them into words in front of the Mindflayer. At least those particular thoughts. Is so sort of definitely still like leaning on the like basically the coiner is holding Grim up at this point. But they have recovered enough to ask. Do you know when? Since mine is apparently a bit too busy to communicate. Do you know when?
Just that we are to prepare the way.
And who is we? Who else?
He just looks flatly at you.
Not... Grim is starting to get a tiny bit exasperated, which is actually helpful. Because it's this is sort of exasperated is better than fucking panicked. So they're not mad about it. All right. Yeah. Okay. What is Corinne looking at right now?
She's kind of watching, kind of between the Mindflayer and Grim, kind of like whenever the Mindflayer's attention turns to Grim, she's following that, and then also kind of like glancing back to the like between the two, essentially.
Grim will drop into awakened mind. We'll like go to drop into awakened mind, glance at them, like realize as they do that the Mindflayer can probably hear them. And goes on with it anyway. I don't know that there's anything else to be learned here. It's your call.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Corinne draws her rapier and stabs.
Yes, I love it. Can everyone roll me initiative, please? This is why I put bones on the map. I had a feeling about you guys.
Eliana looks kind of relieved when Corinne draws and stabs.
That was exactly what Grim was hoping would happen. Like they were like, I should not be hoping for this, but here I am.
Sometimes someone just needs to stab.
Yeah, poor Corinne. A rough day. I'm not getting to stab or firebomb anyone.
Oh, shit. This Mindflayer is just so smug, and like he thinks he knows everything. Oh my god, he's just as bad as the people back home. He's insufferable.
I love him. I mean, he's
He's a great antagonist.
I would like to point out the first description, the first 2 words that the Mindflayer wiki say, utterly arrogant.
Yeah, no, it's very good. It's a very good, like, creepy, unsettling. And holy fuck, why am I going first? Does Corinne get a surprise round?
I'm still rolling, so we'll see.
Okay,
we'll see.
delightful.
We'll see. I will let.
I don't know.
I probably will let that stabbing go.
I genuinely don't know if the Mindflayer can overhear the awakened mind, but Grim definitely had a moment of like, I would like to talk to my one of my people secretly, as I always talk to my people. Oh shit, I don't think that's gonna work in this setting. But
Oh, I gotta pull up Bones' stats. Give me one moment.
we get to contemplate our fates.
Something like that.
Yep. With that initiative.
I believe in you, Eliana.
Yeah, she believes in herself too. We'll see how this goes.
Hey, at least you're out of melee range, so that's nice.
It's not a bad idea for the person with the staff of healing to not.
There's something to be
first.
said for sometimes you want to go low in the initiative.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking earlier today about our discussion of roles and about how, like, technically Eliana might have the she has the most hit points, but she doesn't tank because she's the healer, and the healer does not tank. You don't overlap. There are some roles that could overlap. Those two
Yeah.
do not at all.
Cool.
You should tell Callie that sometime. Because that's definitely not what she did last time.
It's fine.
It's totally fine.
16. He got it.
Hanalor's a backup healer. Actually, I think Hanalor's more of a healer than Callie is, to be honest.
The problem is Hanalor runs off places by herself.
Sometimes it pays off. Good job,
Yeah, it kind of
Bones.
does. She's been rewarded enough for this behavior, she's probably going to keep doing it.
Good job, Mindflayer.
Yeah, he did
I
not
don't
go.
know.
He's not fast, apparently.
That's I mean I guess that's a downside of arrogance.
When you're too busy gloating.
Oh no, Bones just rolled really low. I was like, how is her initiative 16? That doesn't make any sense. Oh wait, no, she rolled like shit.
I was gonna say for most people that's pretty good for I don't know what Bones' modifier is, but I'm guessing that was not a good roll. But hey.
Alrighty. Yeah, why don't you do some stabbing there, Corinne?
Okay. So we'll do a stab. Is it 26 hit?
26 hits, yeah.
Cool. He takes 36 points of magic piercing damage, including sneak attack, because no one else is around her.
Damn.
And then she's gonna use a bonus disengage and flee to the other side of the room.
Oh no! I left Grim alone with the Mindflayer. Not alone, but
That's her turn.
that's fine.
Grim, you're up.
Is the window still open?
Yeah.
And is it this window? Is it this window?
These are.
I feel like it's this window, because that's the one that this one's right up against the chair, and that would be a silly one to...
Yeah, I think you guys came in at this top one.
Okay. No, you know what? Grim is panicking. No, you know what? Actually, that is fine. Let's see. Yeah, no, I think Grim is going to is. Let me think. No, they expected Grim to stab, so they would not be blind panicking. Grim is going to need a charisma save from the Mindflayer, please. This is banishment.
Okay. That's bad. Y'all, this Vecna fight has just been following me and how I roll.
Cursed your dice.
These are my my DM dice too, and they are not going good.
I'm going to be purified between now and next session.
That's a 9.
Okay. So it's banished. The DC was 17.
Okay.
I don't think I ever have any idea where the creature goes, so I don't know if this particular one went back to some outer plane, or if it's just in a home assembly plane, or do I?
No.
Okay. So Grim, who will stand up out of the corner, concentrating I think has like one, like put one hand, like part of their components putting their hand out towards it, like in a sort of a shoe motion, and it's just holding their hand there. I suppose we'll find out where it came from.
And Eliana takes 54 seconds to search the desk.
Sure.
I will roll investigation.
Meanwhile, Corinna's going to come back into her previous position and ready to stab again, just in case.
Bones is going to move into flanking and pull out her Golox.
That's a 9 investigation.
Can Bosun help Eliana search the desk?
No, Bosun's more likely to eat the papers than to like know what he's looking at.
Bosun's helping, and that's why Eliana rolled a 9.
Yeah, Bosun is helping. Yeah.
Bosun, I want to read that.
Bosun, stop. And he does.
Right. So after that investigation roll, Eliana will, she'll take up a position over here and ready a firebolt. Firebolt, not fireball.
Important clarification.
Good.
I know how Tuesday went. So she will ready a cantrip to go off if the Mindflayer reappears, and to go off at the Mindflayer specifically.
Sure.
All right. So Grimm's just waiting out the minute. They are not there, and they will, at the end of the minute, we will see if it comes back or not.
Okay. A minute goes by. And I fuck up the map. That's what happens.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's a Tarask now.
Oh god.
Level 9.
Somehow I made the... Okay. You are a map. Please be a map. Thank you.
Hey, grids.
Ooh, it is incapacitated if it's in the harmless demiplane.
Okay. While it's in the harmless demiplane, or when it comes back?
While it's in the harmless demiplane, which I think means it can't ready an action.
Yeah.
But yeah, once it comes back, it is just back. And yeah, nothing. It is on its own recognizance then.
It's back!
Okay.
Ready to actions go?
Ready to actions go. Let's call them in order. Grim, did you ready anything, or were you just concentrating?
I think Grim was just concentrating. Grim's ready action is to look dismayed when it returns.
Okay, Corinne, you get an attack with advantage because you're flanking.
Cool. That's a 20 total.
20 definitely hits.
Cool. That's 24 points of magic piercing damage.
Alrighty. Easy enough. Bones will go. Yeah, Bones goes. She gets advantage because she's flanking. It's an 18 plus whatever, and then she gets to roll sneak attack.
Sneak.
Sneak attack. Sneak attack.
Lots of dice. Lots of dice.
So many dice. As you see, and then she's going to take her bonus action, do an offhand attack with advantage. Yeah, it's a lot. It's stupid. Rogues.
Rogues.
Alrighty. Eliana, you were readying a firebolt?
Yep, and that goes off. Let's roll. That's an 18 to hit.
Give me a second, because I lost my... Sorry, I pulled up a stat block, and then it was like, this is how to turn your how to make a PC.
Oh no!
Mindflayer. I was like, no, please just give me a Mindflayer, thanks.
That's what happens if the session goes really badly, as we're all part of the Great Old Ones. I mean, I guess some of us are already part of the Great Old Ones coming, but...
Here we are. When in doubt, image search. All right. AC is 15, so yes, that hits.
Okay, let's roll damage. That wasn't a roll, that was a die just falling out of my hand. Okay, 9 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Do we appear to be immune to fire?
It does not.
Great.
It's not immune to fire. No.
Great, so full 9 points of damage.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Those are all the prepared rounds. I believe it goes after this, or do we start at the top of the order?
Yeah, I think we would go to the top of the order, except so that Grimm's turn was dropping concentration.
Oh my god.
No. So I think we start with Corinne.
Corinne.
I think.
I would like to stab it again.
Yes, you would. Please roll to stab.
As a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
31 points of magic piercing damage.
How do you want to kill this mind flayer?
Wow.
Y'all didn't get around to it. Like it could incapacitate you guys, but it just
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's just the first one.
I'm sure there won't be any more whatsoever. There's no Great Old One coming our way.
It's gonna be fine. I think she just stabs it in the eye, trying to aim for its brain, because she's just this smug bastard. And just pulls her rapier out and then wipes it on his cloak.
Sure. Silence kind of falls across the room as you hear people starting to make noises in the halls and offices and areas around you.
Can I check the door and lock it if there's a lock?
Yeah, there's a lock.
Okay, I turn it.
Yeah.
Bones, can you try the desk again? I couldn't make heads or tails of it.
Who is that directed to, Eliana?
She's asking Bones for help.
Oh, cool.
Grim is also going to lock the other door.
Cool, she only has a plus 9 to investigation, it's fine.
Only. Corinne's gonna search the body of the Mindflayer in the meantime.
You find a symbol on it. Looks like a Mindflayer head. It looks like it's wearing a holy symbol. Bones searches the desk and shakes her head. Not anything out of the ordinary. Expenses and funds in a ledger book, but...
Let's take that.
She hands it over to you.
When I saw it writing during the sky, did it look like it was writing in a book, or did it look like it was writing more of a letter? Or could I not tell because I just peeked?
If you look on the desk, there is a half-written lesson plan.
Okay.
This feels strangely anticlimactic, and I don't like it.
Was that Bones?
Yeah.
Corinne's gonna go to the window and take a peek out and see if she sees anything outside, any staff or students or anything like that, any life that's new.
Yeah, some people are outside and you see them looking around. You see people looks like they've just snapped out of it and they're what the fuck is going on? There's a little bit of panic. At least one person is starting to push another kid. One of the kids is pushing another kid why did you do this to me? And the other kid's I didn't fucking do anything to you. And the other kid's yeah, you fucking did. I wasn't here before. So clearly stupid teenagers being stupid are you did this to me.
Yeah,
Panic is-
Corinne's gonna, like, stick her head out the window and just be like, hello, hi, hello, hi. And just, like, try to get their attention.
Yeah. Roll a persuasion check, I guess?
Okay.
For them to turn away from their budding fist fight? Yeah.
19.
Yeah, you're cute enough. They'll look at you.
Grim knows.
Hi, hello. We're doing a bit of business here. How long have you been up in this gestures at the building?
I don't know, fucking day. He looks down at his clothes. He shrugs like, wasn't fucking wearing this though.
Right. Would you like to get back to Waterdeep?
He pauses and thinks about it. No?
No? Alright. Wait here. I may have a proposition for you, but I want to run it by someone else first. You're safe. The dormitories are in one of those two buildings. Girls in that one, boys in the other one. You might have things there. I'm not entirely sure. We haven't done a full sweep yet. But collect your things, rest a bit, settle down.
You can hear the sounds of rioting upstairs in the classrooms.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like rioting, or like
people are throwing
teenagers?
furniture. People are throwing furniture. There is.
Oh no. Corinne's gonna run to the door and unlock it.
Grim is following, but increasingly confused, glances over their shoulder to Mindflayer. Should we do something with that? Like, is sort of addressing Eliana and Bones, because Corinne is already gone.
Yeah, she's running up the stairs.
Bones shrugs and just starts dragging it to the fire. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'm putting it in the fire.
If something terrible happens, let us know. And they're gonna chase Corinne.
I thought was to show it for proof, but I don't think we need to prove it to anybody, do we?
Oh, that's a good idea. But Grim's already gone.
Oh,
Yeah, Corinne's already gone.
she's gonna, at that point with Eliana, she's gonna like prop it in the corner, be like, you know what, good idea. Just put it over there, make sure nothing comes out of it.
Oh no!
Right. I'll watch it.
Right.
Where's the rioting sounds coming from?
The upstairs classroom. Probably it would be this classroom here.
Okay, cool. We're gonna run up to the door. What's the vibe?
Yeah, so the professor has turned up the desk and is using it as a shield, as teenagers are like ripping apart the furniture and just like losing their goddamn minds.
I would like to try and leverage my panache to calm the fuck out of everybody. I'm just gonna run in like, hello, hi.
Persuasion check, yeah.
Yeah, hi, hello. Everything's fine. Stay calm. I realize that is the least intuitive action at this very moment in time. It's all been very confusing. We are working on getting things sorted out. Please just have a seat. We can give you some instructions to get you the fuck out of here.
Alright.
And we will roll persuasion and see what happens.
This is delightful.
Oh man.
16.
The teacher just sits down behind the desk, like shaking her head, like so confused. Yeah, some of the students kind of chill and relax. A couple of them sit down. Most of them are sitting like on the desks. So at least two people return an overturned chair an overturned table to like back to where it properly was, and people are just like sitting and calming down.
Right. Thank you. I realize this is a very unsettling point in time. there's been nefarious activity going on at this establishment. We would like to ensure that everyone gets out safely. However, I realize that there are dormitories that you have all been staying in for the past... I'm not entirely sure how long you all have been here, but... and she points, like, girls' dorm is that way, boys' dorm is that way. Please head in that direction, collect your things, regroup in the courtyard downstairs.
Yeah, people start to the teenagers start to file out. The teacher's just sitting behind the desk, confused.
Yep.
She looks at you. What in the nine hells is going on?
Just wait till they file out. No, we'll fill you in.
Right. I was on a boat. I was on my boat.
Oh dear.
Grandma has regained a few of their senses, kind of pokes their head in. That is how it happens. Pulls their head back.
Oh no. After the students have kind of all filed out, Corinne will pop back inside. So, good news is you're safe. You're within a day's travel of Waterdeep, where I'm not sure if that's where your boat is harbored, but there is a harbor there.
Generally, I'm out of Luskin. I was in Waterdeep?
Yes. Yes, you're a day's travel from Waterdeep to the south. Waterdeep's to the south, you're north.
Okay.
We do know a few Luskan transplants who have taken up in Waterdeep. Perhaps they can get you some connections. I do have a bit of bad news. Are you familiar with Mindflayers at all? Just in general.
Squid people? I don't know. Maybe? Oh, shit. Our boat was boarded. And she's, like, trying to remember. But there were squid people on the boat.
Squid people on the boat, so there's more than one. There's multiple of them.
I mean, if there was just one, we would have been able to take them.
Right. So, I'm guessing that's how you got here. How many of your crew were there?
They're just a small shipping vessel, only 6.
Well, good news. We killed the one that was overseeing the school, so that's nice.
School? She looks around the room. She's like, what the fuck am I doing in a school?
You are teaching Waterdavian history, and you're actually doing quite a good job.
Waterdavian history? I don't... What? This is a very weird dream.
I imagine this is a lot to take in. It's come downstairs. We are, as I said, a day's north of Waterdeep. We'd like to, if anyone is interested in returning to the city, we'd like to lead a group back. For those who don't necessarily want to return, I suppose we'll figure something out. But at least give that as a starting point.
Right, okay, so I'm at the school. Alright. And she's just gonna follow you down the stairs.
Okay. Are there any other squalls that sound like they need to be quelled?
You don't hear any immediately.
Okay. Alright.
You get the feeling that there may not have been a lot of students at the school.
Okay.
Probably 30 or 40 tops.
Okay. And then I'll head back to join the rest in the headmaster's office.
You see him kind of come out, confused. And she moves forward. Dimitri, you're safe. And she wraps him into a tight hug. And he looks calm.
Oh, you know each other.
This is my husband, Dimitri.
Wait. Wait, his name is Dimitri?
His name is Dimitri, yeah.
Grim just is already has one hand on the door. Can't deal with this. Like Dimitri is, all Grim knows Dimitri is a very common name, but doesn't even look over their shoulder, steps into the office. Locks it. The other will go down and unlock the other one. They know Corinne can unlock the door if she wants to get in. They're not worried about that.
Yeah.
Did any of them seem like they needed proof that... What's going on?
Not so far. They don't seem to remember how they got here, although they seem to remember what happened. Oh, you kept it. I was thinking as I was charging up the stairs again that we might need it for evidence or part of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Evidence.
It seems like we're going to have a number of very confused individuals on our hands, as well as ourselves.
We can work with that.
Good nods. And is going to stand there the door. They have this door is not locked, but they're just sort of standing there with their hand on the knob in case they need to lock it to make themselves feel better.
A few moments pass. Quiet kind of settles across the office and stuff again.
I don't know if Corinne was in the middle of interrogating those people.
Yeah, Corinne, what are you up to?
Or they were just
As
in the middle
they're
of
quickly having a conversation in Luskin.
Yeah, she mostly was just kind of like, oh, you know each other.
Dimitri is my husband, yes.
Oh, that's convenient.
Sorry.
Dimitri, you gave me a very lovely tour of this facility earlier today. I would suspect you remember not a thing of it, but you were very competent.
He shakes his head no. I am
It's fine.
surprised to find I am a teacher again. That's weird.
Teacher again?
Was this...
Were you not a sailor?
I am a sailor. I was a teacher. Life is weird.
That's extremely fair. Explain this to your wife previously, but we are a day's travel north of Waterdeep. We can get you back there. We'll lead a contingency back in that direction. Just stay here. There are dormitories, and she'll do the same directions thing. If you have any things, personal effects to collect, that's probably where they'll be. We'll be out in just a moment to escort a group back.
Alright, okay, this is... Alright, I'm gonna take a look around to see what the fuck is going on.
Extremely fair. It's very odd.
And he's gonna take a look around the campus.
Okay. Corinne is gonna attempt to open the door, and acknowledging that it's locked, will then try to pick the lock.
Eliana will just come over and open it for her.
As Grim pokes their head out of the other door to see who's trying to get in.
It unlocks first, as Eliana's putting her hand on the knob, it turns and the latch uncatches, and Corinne opens the door. It's oh, so it's very interesting out there. Steps in, closes the door behind her.
And that people are confused?
Extremely confused. There's a couple who were sailors from Luskin who don't remember being in Waterdeep, from what I can tell. Bunch of students who were overturning tables and such upstairs. I'm wondering if it would make sense for us to connect them to the collective that's in the woods, for those who are not interested in returning to Waterdeep. But I wouldn't presume to make that decision without consulting with that collective first.
I think so, and I agree with you that that would be a good place for them if that collective's willing to accept them.
Bones kind of frowns
I'm
deeply. I'm not sure we should keep that collective around, though. That's the thing. It's going to be winter soon. kids
True.
are going to freeze to death. But from the sounds of it, we have a empty building here?
Let's do a
I
sweep.
think we need to check this out.
Yes.
Has
I think
anybody
we need-
looked in the basement?
Not yet.
No.
I was going to, but then there was a Mindflayer in the headmaster's office.
There was, yes. Still is technically.
Grim nods and cracks a bit of a smile.
Still is. God damn it.
And we'll point past. There's no door into the kitchen, but we'll point in the direction of the kitchen. There was I believe, the trap door to the basement is in the kitchen.
Very good.
Right.
We'll take a look, and we'll head back out the office, carefully stepping over the Mindflayer's body.
I'm just watching the body in case something happens to it.
Would you like me to so you can leave? I don't really want to be left alone with it, but I think if I am over here, they go to sit on one side of the planter. I think that's all right.
No, I'm alright with watching this.
All right.
If anything weird happens, I'll burn it.
Grim just grins at her, and then we'll follow to the basement just in case there's another Mindflayer down there.
Okay.
Eliana grins back.
And Bosun makes a happy chainsaw noise from the desk where he's nibbling on paper.
Is Bosun still invisible?
Yes. You can see the paper movement.
But she can hear him, and having gotten her hands on all of the important paper, Eliana just tells him, "You get that paper, Bosun.
And he does.
This is acceptable paper to eat."
The red-headed professor kind of steps in front of you, Corinne. Hi.
Hello.
So this is a school.
Apparently a school, at least a reform school of some sort, is what it was billed as.
Okay. And there's a bunch of kids here?
My understanding is yes.
Right.
Obviously, they were the ones overturning furniture and throwing chairs and
alright.
such.
Fair enough. Alright, Alright, look, it's dark out, and you said we're a day away from Waterdeep?
Yes.
What is
Yes,
Waterdeep?
a day's travel.
Alright, so here's the deal. I'm going to make dinner for us and a bunch of fucking kids, I guess. And
Alright.
I don't know. My husband has a look in his eyes, so, whatever happens, happens, but, let's get the kids at least secured for the evening.
Alright.
It would be dangerous and unsafe to travel with them at night through the woods.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I don't think we were actually realistically going to consider travel until tomorrow at the earliest.
Right. Alright, so, it's dinner time. I'm just going to get some food started, I guess, and... alright. Cat person...
Would you like assistance?
I would love assistance, yes.
Excellent. And she'll turn behind her and call back to Bones and Grim. And then turns back to the woman. We'll do a, if you wouldn't mind letting us do a sweep of the kitchen first, just to make sure that there's no surprises there.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
Excellent, thank you. We'll just be a moment. And then starts to make her way towards the kitchen.
Sure.
Grim's gonna go the long way around. But is definitely trying to, as they do from behind Bangs and Eye Patch, is trying to gauge, do these people look like people who look like me?
Sure. Roll a perception check.
We don't know how common a name Dimitri may or may not be. 11!
11. They're kind of pale. They've got dramatically... this one has dramatically red hair. The other one has black hair. You remember him from earlier. He looks significantly older than you.
Delightful. And as the one formerly known as Olakan, currently known as who knows what, follows Grim is definitely like they are not actually stepping on Corinne's heels because they would rather die than trip her by accident, and they are but they are like as close. They are following as closely as they dare.
Looks back at Grim as she approaches the trapdoor. Have your firearms ready, just in case. Not literal firearms, but and it makes finger guns gesture.
Yeah, they grin. They look a little relieved. And grin and give her a fire gun back.
And then we'll open the trapdoor and see if anything comes out that shouldn't.
And Grim will ready an Eldritch Blast for anything that has tentacles but isn't bosun.
Basement is bottom right.
Oh, look at that.
Appears to be empty other than pantry-ish supplies.
Yep.
Do a quick sweep of the place, looking behind things and under things and
inside
of things.
Mm-hmm.
Same. Is that a door over there in the corner?
There's a door over there in the corner.
Oh!
It's kind of hidden behind a cask.
Good eyes.
It's actually kind of hidden, but with your passive,
Delightful.
you can see it.
I would like to see if the door is locked.
Door is locked.
I would like to try and make it so it's not.
Sure enough.
That's a 12.
12. Nope.
It's stubborn. Bones! Calls up. Bones!
Bones, quick as a cat should be, is down the stairs, down the trapdoor, and behind you.
Can you get with lockpicks?
I am very good with lockpicks.
Great. Can you try and get this one?
Yeah, sure. She does it, she just kind of flips her lockpicks in, closes her eyes, 2 twists, and pulls her lockpicks out, opens the door.
I know it's by feel, but the eye closing is very, I get that, but also it's very stylish.
Excellent.
She kind of peeks in and goes, "Oh, look, another trapdoor down. That's definitely a good sign." Most assuredly.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
We fetch Alenia. I'm guessing that if the thing
yes.
is not moved yet, it's unlikely to. I can leave Bosun with it. Although
yes.
Grim is visibly doubting whether Bosun is an impartial observer, but also we'll scurry back up the ladder. I assume there's a ladder. We'll pull himself back into the kitchen and go to the headmaster's office. We've found another trapdoor that goes lower, goes deeper. Would you like to join us?
Yes.
And they will leave Bosun with strict instructions to. Well, here we go. And we'll lock the door behind themselves and Eliana as they leave.
What if Eliana takes stuffs the Mindflayer body into her bag of holding?
Oh my god!
She has that.
It'll take some time, but you could definitely do that.
Okay. Yeah, she's gonna do that.
Grim is horrified by the idea of putting it inside a bag that's that she's going to be carrying around, but also will help if that's what she wants to do. They're not putting it in their bag; it won't fit. But
yeah,
Grim will assist with this.
Yeah, she wants to wrap up the body, and I think find something to kind of wrap it in.
Spare clothes, yeah.
Yeah, now she's got a Mindflayer body in her bag of holding.
Wow.
Which is probably fine.
I'm sure so.
I'm sure this will have no consequences whatsoever.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Now I guess we're all. That's good thinking. Now I guess we're all going back. Okay. Yep. Everyone appears in the basement.
Amazing.
All right.
Right. Do I hear anything coming from the trapdoor as we approach?
Not immediately.
Cool.
Fine.
I'm gonna look back at the group and think, those of you who can shoot things, perhaps have that ready.
Readying another Eldritch Blast for anything with tentacles that isn't bosun.
Liliana will ready another firebolt.
And we'll open the trapdoor.
All right, give me just a minute here. I was not expecting you to raffle stomp the Mindflayer as effectively as you did. I say that with all of the love and appreciation and also like respect of that.
Thank you. Well, and also like
That's
if that
what-
initiative had gone differently, it would
Yeah.
have gone really. Can we have like
Yeah.
a 5-minute bathroom break before
Yes.
we?
Oh my
see
God,
what-
a 5-minute bathroom break would be fantastic. Let's take a
Awesome.
Perfect.
5-minute bathroom
Awesome.
break.
See y'all in 5.
5.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've used that with these guys. Okay, do. Maps.
That was a very clever thought of hers. Gross, but clever.
Yeah, I mean, she was pretty determined to, like, that she was very set on the idea of using this as evidence, and so, yeah.
Smart. I mean, there's not like that is certainly the best evidence that one is going to get that there was a mind flayer in this place. Was here's a mind
Here's
flayer.
a mind flayer.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think she's still thinking about embarrassing donors. But
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. Also, wow, Corinne, great job.
I love it when I'm just like scrambling because I was like, oh, they might get this far, they might get this far, it's fine. And then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, BTW, we're just gonna raffle stomp the bag. I need to get better. I am making a promise to you all now that I'm going to get better at both preparation and just combat.
I mean, I wouldn't know that you weren't prepared for that if you hadn't told us. So I think I salute anything that you want to do, but also that was, and I like, it was a really interesting, like, there really wasn't a here's the clear thing to do at this point in time. It was a really interesting set of dilemmas.
It was, and also, like, just knowing that DM life is a constant stream of being unprepared, like, I don't hold anything against you here. Even
if you're prepared, you're unprepared. Like not you, like existentially.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Just life in general.
Life. And like you can prepare, and the character's like, we're gonna go over here, and you're like, okay, that was not the section I had prepared, but here we go.
Oh, we're doing that thing.
Cool.
Alright.
I also totally hadn't seen that door in the corridor at all until Liz mentioned it, so that was fun.
I was like, okay, so they're gonna go to the school, they're gonna go look around, then they're gonna get, caught by the mind flayer, then they're gonna have to do either a combat or they're gonna double back, we don't know, and then, we'll see. Alright, cool. I've got that, I got that put together, what I wanted. Cool.
Delightful.
Do we have everyone back? We got
yes.
Liz, we got Rebecca, we got Hannah. Okie dokie. So you guys heading down the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
So the trapdoor leads to a set of very steep and narrow stairs.
Ooh, this looks pretty. Yeah. I mean, also scary, but...
At the bottom of which is a long, narrow hallway. With a sharp left turn. As you turn left down the hallway, you find a small and deep pool of viscous blue liquid, in which you can see various creatures darting back and forth. Small creatures.
Oh no.
Baby mind flayers?
Probably baby mind flayers. They look like creepy tadpoles.
Grim was just peeking around this corner. That's as close as they're getting.
How flammable does the surrounding structure seem to be?
The surrounding structure does not seem very flammable. It's all stone, but the liquid, you don't know.
Okay, this seems like a great time to cast Fireball.
Immolation.
Yeah. Stay back, everyone.
Yep. Don't need to tell me twice.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Eliana is gonna fireball that that pool.
Yeah.
I think she's just gonna put a regular level 3 on it.
Oh, sure. Roll.
And see what happens.
Yeah. Go ahead, as the liquid itself is very flammable. It goes up into Thankfully, you're standing a good distance away, so it smells like smoke and burning flesh. I need some dice.
That doesn't have her charisma mod, nor does it have, and there's a 1 in there. So.
That's okay. That's okay. So
Okay.
everyone takes
Eliana's just making sure.
16 points of psychic damage. It's just your brain fills with the sounds of screeching and then are
Oh,
suddenly
that's
stopped.
awful. Very good.
16 points of psychic damage.
Yikes.
Bosun is probably Bosun is gone.
And what's the radius on? Oh, Eliana, I think needed to cast was.
Were you doing careful spell to?
Using the radius when she cast, so Dex save, kiddo.
Oh, Dex save.
She was in her own radius.
Look, it's happened. I think it happened to you.
No, that's these things
Lanya.
happen.
Yeah, I mean, she needed to see it. I don't think you need to see what you're casting. It just needs to be a point within range. But I think she forgot about that.
That's fair.
So 16 points of psychic, and what's your DC?
Your DC is 16.
Okay, so she failed her own save.
Oh no.
So she takes her own 32 points of fire damage.
Oh no.
D&D nonsense right here.
Immolation. All the games. All my games are going up in flames.
Yeah.
That's probably a bad thing.
I figured that pool downstairs, that pool there isn't a problem anymore.
No. It goes up in flames. It cheerfully burns away, leaving just char and a faint smell of burnt flesh. But it's probably fine. You don't see anything moving anymore, and the liquid is gone.
Well, is anything else there? Once the liquid was gone and the things were gone, is it just bodies? Is there anything else?
There's nothing there. Oh, go ahead.
Alenia! Grim is like on the stairs, and so could saw the fire extending over her. And then just falls quiet because clearly, are you all right is not a applicable question, and I'm not sure what else to say.
That did hurt. She takes the staff of she grips the staff of healing. Before anyone else?
If you're offering.
I have a pounding headache, I will admit.
I'm just continues to stare.
Mass cure wounds for all of us.
Awesome.
Zah!
Oh, that's a... Oh, nice! What nice symmetry!
16, 16, 16.
Oh, beautiful.
So everyone feels... Well, everyone but Lenya
feels
perfectly healed again.
Took her own fire damage, yeah.
Oh, kiddo.
Oh, kiddo.
So she's going to use one more charge of that for a level 1 cure wounds on herself. Cool.
Yeah.
Right, should we make sure that no one else is forming an uprising upstairs?
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright.
So...
Was that what I think it was?
Oh.
That? Eliana points back over her shoulder.
Nods.
Yeah, it was.
Alright. Sorry, Bones.
Oh, no worries. I hope you all don't mind. Or ask too many questions. I did a careful probing of the emotions of the other 2 adults at this place that haven't appeared to have bolted. I think they could be convinced to at least babysit our wayward teens for a bit.
Babysitting is good. We can offer them pay. At least a bit of a lump sum. Both to allay labor and also to help restock the stores.
It feels weird to say. What if they started a school here, but like it's already built, and they have
You would need to do the convincing for the kids.
For the kids, yeah. Look, even if it's just you can lay low here and be chill for a little bit. I feel like half of these kids, that's what they need anyway.
An escape from the city, right? An escape from what their lives were.
At least not having to worry about someone hunting them down. They at least have a place to breathe. There's a solid roof over their heads, hot meals on a regular basis.
I'm not going to say that that's what turned my life around, but it certainly didn't hurt.
Yeah, and nobody with an agenda to make them do anything.
Who do you suppose owns the place?
Probably the Mindflayer.
We should look for a deed in the office.
I mean, we can, yeah. If it's in the middle of the woods, it's not like it's claimed land. At a certain point, if you just build it, you kind of claim ownership over it.
That's true.
I was wondering if your friend with the, well, Mouse's friend with the, not with the wolf, but who is the wolf?
Karis.
Might want it. If it really is up for grabs, or if it can be.
If anyone could take over genuinely, if anyone should take over a school in the middle of the woods with a bunch of ragtag, I don't want to say unwanted children, but definitely children in need of guidance and love and affection, Karis would be the one. Might have to expand the age ranges a bit, but...
She might like that.
So, yeah, replace the headmaster that was a Mindflayer with a druid?
Yeah.
Seems like a solid idea.
I don't hate it.
Not at all.
Let's make this happen.
I could ask her on, well, in the morning or after a rest. I would need to rest for a bit, but I can ask her after that.
Mm-hmm. I know she jokingly called her new house the, what was it, Lucky Hand School for Adventuring.
Lucky hands, caring hands. What's going to happen to all the money that's being solicited for this place? If we could,
Mindflayer in secret.
If we could have the nobles keep funneling the money to this place and not have any idea.
What if it became legit, I guess, is where I'm going.
We may want to check and see who the intended representative was for the event, since they may not remember a thing.
They might just be coming to and be like some dock board person who's like, what the fuck am I doing in these fancy clothes?
Yeah.
Imagine what that would be like at all.
How would we find out who? Do you suppose who that would have been?
If they haven't,
the Hawkwinters would know.
The Hawkwinters would know if they haven't if they haven't bolted, we'd be able to find them.
Great. Let's try doing that. Get the kids and the adults settled here. Check in on the kids at the camp.
I mean, yeah, I don't mean to like
try to get them here too.
I don't mean to like derail all of your plans. If we want to bring this place down, we definitely could. I
don't think we need to.
It doesn't seem like it would burn very well anyway. Grim sort of knocks on the stone wall glances at Eliana. It's not that I don't believe in you. I'm sure you could burn all the furniture.
I think I've done enough burning for today. She gestures at her singed clothing.
Her own missing eyebrows.
Right, so let's go talk to... You go talk to the kids, I'll go talk to the adults. And then let's head off into the woods to get that group.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And Grim says, and I'll, sounding rather cheerful about it, and I'll sit very still for an hour and not talk to anyone.
Is that a good thing, or...?
They've already headed off towards the library. Whoop, poke their head in there, Dimitri's there, they leave. Poke their head in the cafeteria, the person formerly known as Olakan is there, they leave, they go upstairs, they find an empty classroom, and will like stretch out on a bed, and that's what Grim's going to be for the next hour.
Okay. As Bones disappears to the dormitories.
Yeah, Corinne's gonna go find formerly known as Amakan. I'm sorry, what? I'm guessing your name is not actually what it was when you were introduced to us originally. What is your name?
Ola?
Ola. So we have perhaps an idea. Winter's coming. The city is not perhaps going to be the safest place for kind of gestures at the dorms. Perhaps not going to be the safest place for those who were brought here. Could we convince you perhaps to, at least for a few days, until we can perhaps get someone else to mind the facility? Unless you'd be interested, by all means, this is your bag. Of course.
My ship is sank, and I don't... Look, I'm Luskin. If you leave a plant around me too long, we adopt it. So, like, 30 children, sure, fine, okay. Now we have 30 children.
I've heard this rumor.
Yes, Luskin, we don't believe in orphans. There's no such thing as them.
Excellent. And Corinne reaches into her pocket and pulls out 100 gold pieces, a little pouch with 100 gold pieces, and presses it into her hand to sustain the group.
Right. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with all of these kids as, like, a heads up, but I don't know. I can feed them and clothe them, and, like, they will have a place to sleep.
Stop there. That's a perfectly acceptable place to start. We don't have any other expectations. We have a contact back in the city who is sort of a similar mindset when it comes to orphans and adoptions. She may be... we may consult her to see if she'd be interested in potentially actually running this thing as a school, if not just a shelter. Providing, hot meals, roof over heads, place to sleep, that sort of thing. This at least should help to keep you supplied, provide clothing, bedclothes, whatever you need.
Right, okay. I'm going to make dinner for all of my new children, I suppose.
Very good. I can help. I'm not bad in the kitchen.
Sounds good. Dimitri, we are adopting like 30 kids. Dimitri just like... 0 to 30 is a lot, sweetheart. But okay, if you say so. Why don't we just make a... This is a school, yes? We could just make it to school. And Ola's like, I don't know. I don't know how to teach. You're the teacher. She just heads into the kitchen. I will at least make sure they are fed, though. Is this oatmeal? You just hear her going, is this oatmeal? From the kitchen.
Yes, I don't know if I would eat it, though. We're not entirely sure what's in it.
I don't like oatmeal particularly. I only ate it when we were, like, starving to death.
It's
Oatmeal is a winter food.
the texture is so particular. Like, it has to be exactly the right way.
Good thing this is mostly gone, and she's like lifting the cauldron, like she's like taking off her overclothes. She's like rolled up her sleeves. She's like taking the cauldron off of the stove and like putting it, getting it cleaned up. Like she's like, whatever. This is what we're doing now, I guess. Ola has just been like, this is what we're doing with our lives. My ship is gone, and now I have 30 children. Sure. It's some like there's some level of shock and some level of handling the next most important thing. Like she doesn't know what the next step is, but she knows like the immediate next step is, okay, there are many people here, most of them are going to be hungry in the next couple of hours. This is a problem that I can solve.
Extremely fair. Corinne will get to work just dicing onions.
Yeah, there is before too long there's an excellent fish stew happening. Perhaps we can put in a live lake or something in order to keep fresh fish. This is not that old, but whatever, it'll be fine.
As long as it's well salted, it should be alright.
Yeah, so adaptable. I feel like this is how I would react in this situation. I'd be like, well, I don't know what the fuck to do, so I'm just gonna make dinner, I guess.
Yeah.
When in doubt, dinner.
Yeah, food always helps.
Never the wrong answer.
Right, Kenny? Eat your food, sweetheart.
You're quickly understanding that Ola might be a bit of an opportunist and is just like, well, my ship is gone.
I mean,
which means my house is gone and my livelihood is gone, but this is a nice house.
Oh, Grim is also going to cast. They're actually going to take an hour and 10 because they're going to, or an hour and 11 because they're going to ritual cast. Oh wait, Grim doesn't have. The warlocks don't have ritual casting.
They do not.
Oh wait, no, but it's a Pact of the Chain feature, so they do have it as a ritual. They're going to use one of their Find Familiar component sets, and they will take an hour at 11 and get Bosun back.
Sure. Corinne, eventually Dimitri rolls up his sleeves and he goes to join you in the kitchen, and Ola just like turns him and shoves him out of the kitchen. No. My galley is my galley, even if my galley is on land. You get out. Dimitri just laughs. He's like, alright, fine. I'll find something useful to do.
You could check the books in the library. Just yelling behind him.
Alright. After a while, did you say Bones and Corinne were gonna head out to the check on the kids, or Bones and Alenia, or Eliana, rather?
Either. I think Elena was planning to go with Bones to check out to talk to the kids.
Alright.
Yeah, Corinne was also gonna go, but depending on how long the meal prep takes, she will defer. She'll gladly defer.
After a certain point, I would say probably as that hour is wrapping up, dinner is well on its way to being prepared. Ola will kind of like just, clap her hands together, brush them off, and go, oh, alright. Well, there's a big part's out of the way. I can just fry up some quick bread. Not the big deal to go with it.
Right. Sounds good. I'll leave you to it then.
Something filling and use up all of these oats.
There you go. And Corinne will excuse herself and head towards the exit.
Yeah.
Where everyone else probably is.
Yep. You meet up with
Except
Bones. Actually, I'm gonna say your hour is finished after this. You summon Bosun again.
That's fine. I'm still hiding upstairs.
Oh, okay.
we'll let them do their thing, and then I'll cast to Karis. But Grim definitely doesn't want to go to a dormitory and talk to a bunch of kids or any other adult humans either.
Sure.
But thank you.
All right. As Bones kind of stretches. Okay, where are we going first?
I think I'd like to get to the camp before it gets too late.
Fair enough. And too cold.
Wait, how far away is the camp? We would know.
Probably a couple of hours away. And as you look up, it's starting to snow a little bit. It's not sticking, it's not anything, it's just that, like, early, like, that, like, late fall, like, warning snow. Like, guess what? A gentle reminder that shit's gonna get real quick.
Yeah.
This is snow?
Yes. It's it kind of like slowly you can see it kind of clicking in Corinne's head of, you've never seen snow before. This is snow.
You'll like it for like a year and then you'll hate it.
Oh, I think it's charming.
Eliana sticks her tongue out to catch snowflakes.
Feel like
her tongue.
That comes from a person who's never had to sleep out in the snow.
No, God, no. You'd always have a place to go back to. Full with a fireplace, a warm bath, some hot cocoa tea, or a hot toddy, or something like that.
The snowflakes are eluding her.
Oh,
You know, the roof of the local forge, it's fine. She heads out into the woods.
Alright, so since we're setting up camp closer here now, the tent has moved. Logistically, I'm trying to think what makes the most sense. Well, let's tell the kids here that there's food, since that will be available soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then go to the camp, check in with that group, and then return to our camp.
At least tell them resources are around and maybe convince them to, if not break their camp, think about breaking their camp.
Indeed.
Yeah, they'll care about the food.
Most of them will. I think I can convince Dreta, and if I convince Dreta, the rest will follow.
Perfect. So, dormitories first, and then we'll head to the camp. And then I think we'll turn in for the night, because, my gods, I am exhausted.
It's been a day.
Been a long day.
And there's Mindflayers.
Oh, gods. And there's more of them, apparently.
And they're preparing for something to come? Something.
Something.
Look forward to that.
It feels like the sort of thing that's in a storybook. You know, the sort of the myth that doesn't actually exist. You read about it, but it's never, it's not real.
Yeah, let me tell you about the Archlich Sararak, who also wasn't real until he was super, super real.
Glitches and bitches. Eliana grins.
She would know. As you guys head to the camp. Unbothered this time. Still avoiding the traps that you helped set, which makes them easier to avoid. I won't even make you roll a check. Since you helped set them up, you know exactly where they are and what type they are. And thus, setting off no traps can walk right into camp. The mood's a little dour because there's a little snow has fallen, and some people are starting to looks like they're like it was all fun and games until someone got hit by a snowflake. And even though, like, the snow is not sticking and it's just cold out, like, it's just cold enough to snow. It's not sticking. It's barely falling. Like, it's like gets like 3 inches off the ground and melts. But you get the feeling a couple people have gotten hit by a reality check real quick. Because it is Uktar. Is it Uktar?
It is Uktar.
It is
It's
Uktar.
late. Oh,
Yep.
yes, it is
It is
Uktar,
late Uktar.
23rd. So it's even late Uktar.
Well, good news. We got rid of the Caring Hands School.
Well, okay, so we should rephrase that. The school is still there. The headmaster's not. The weird stuff is also gone.
Yeah, because the headmaster was a Mindflayer. So you get rid of the Mindflayer, everybody else goes back to normal. And none of them really wanted to be teaching children. But what they are interested in is feeding children.
One of them might be interested in teaching. The other one is very good at feeding.
Dreda frowns a little bit. Okay, so the headmaster's gone, and there's 2 adults left?
2 adults, both of sound mind now. You will recognize them, perhaps, but they are not the individuals that you knew.
Alright.
Treat them as though you've never met them before.
Because they haven't met you before.
Okay. Dreda kind of looks around. Bones kind of goes to stand next to her. Bones kind of looks her over. Look, you've slept outside for a winter. You know what it's like. Dreda nods. Bones kind of looks at all of the people in the camp, and there's like 15, 20 kids here. How many of these kids are gonna survive without harming themselves or getting sick? Dreda kind of was like, well, and then Bones is like, look, you're a leader here. You gotta make decisions for everybody, not just yourself. And Dreda just kind of shrugs a little bit. And Bones looks to you, Eliana and Corinne.
It's not perfect, I know, but I think it's going to be better than it was, most likely. It won't. They're not going to make that oatmeal anymore, I don't think.
No, I can confirm that. They were going to use all the rest of it in some sort of fry bread sort of thing. I'm not exactly sure what it was. Anyway, there's fish stew. Whenever you're ready, hot food. Dormitories will have enough room for everybody. Roof over your heads, hot meals regularly. We're not going to force anyone back to Waterdeep. Stay there as long as you like. It's at least a roof. A roof and a bed. I know there's at least a few of you who probably are ready for a softer place to lay your head, and kind of like looks in the general direction of oh gosh, what's her name? That
Bridget.
Bridget, yeah, Bridget's tent.
Dreda kind of nods.
You don't even have to you don't have to promise us to be good.
Oh, girls, no, we don't care. I mean, ideally, like, don't set the place on fire, but
Please don't.
it'd be very difficult to do so. It's made of stone.
Drenna kind of just grins at that. Oh, alright. I'll give the order to strike camp and we'll be there in a minute. And you see her walk off to go to Rally's tent. And then slowly but surely, tents start coming down. The fire is put out. Things are gathered up. Children, Mouse seems to be one of the youngest. As he emerges from one of the tents, sleepy-eyed, a little confused, looks up. There's snow. Unlike everyone else, he's pretty excited about it. Unlike Lenya is trying to catch snowflakes on his tongue.
Kind of cool, isn't it?
He nods a little bit. When I have a house, I don't mind the snow.
Yeah.
Because
and you're gonna have a house if you want to. So.
I mean, now that with Karis, I always have a house. I can always go someplace. That's the best part, because she if you leave, she'll get she'll worry about you, but she won't chase you down or anything. But it's nice to have a place when it's wet. Bones just nods. I have spent so many nights sleeping in a damn puddle.
We're going to see if Karis wants to come out here.
Mouse looks excited at that. Really? Oh, man. I know she likes being in the city because, she knows that there's always going to be more of us, and she hates the fact that she doesn't understand orphans. It's kind of funny, apparently, where she's from. Orphans, wholly aren't a thing. It's really hilarious. She's like, what do you mean children don't have parents? Or adults? She's like, it's really funny. It's funny.
That's very sweet that it's like that for her. And I mean, she might rather stay in Waterdeep. But I think we'll ask her and see what she wants to do. And if she wants to stay, we'll stay. The people, the Luskins seem like nice people. Ola and Dmitri.
He nods.
They had no idea what happened to them.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah. It's pretty weird, all right. But my hope is that things are on their way to getting less weird.
I don't know. Things are always weird to me.
Well, they're weird for me, but I'm an adventurer.
I'm an adventurer. I'm studying to be an adventurer. I'm gonna learn how to be an adventurer.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You gonna learn magic?
No. Karis has this friend named Jin, and he fights with swords and a shield, and it looks pretty cool. Also chairs, or really anything that he can get his hands on. So I want to be like him.
Yeah, so you've got to learn your technique good for if you're going to fight with the sword. But I know you can do it.
Hannah knows.
I really don't, but I have heard this legend of Jin. Maybe Mouse or Karis will tell us.
Yeah. So something like that maybe would be cool. Or Crystal, when she casts magic, blood comes out of her eyeballs. It's sweet.
Wow. That's a lot of blood, though. I don't know if you really want that all the time.
I mean, it's just a little blood.
But it's like having a nosebleed. Except from the eye, it sounds uncomfortable.
I guess it would be itchy if it dried on you. Maybe you don't notice if you're fighting.
You notice after. I would think. It doesn't happen to me.
He eyes you speculatively.
That's Mouse's insight modifier.
Not I. Alright, as the camp is struck, everyone seems to be carrying a couple of bundles of things as they are ready to follow you back too. Cautiously, optimistically follow you back to the school.
Can I cast Sending to Karis while they are en route one way or another?
As the group is en route, you cast Sending to Karis.
I'm just gonna count it out as I go, and then I'll get it in the thing because I think the substance of it is going to be what you expect it to be. Grim here. We have found something that may be of interest. Might work for an orphanage out in the woods. Interested? That is 21 words, but we'll stop there. Oh, and then we'll start to stop there and say, also Mouse is fine. That's 25.
Sorry, counting words.
Sure.
So you hear words back going, an orphanage? Very interested. Set up here is not ideal for numbers. Good to hear Mouse is fine. Was worried. Which woods? I can come soon.
And I will cast one more time since I got both spell slots back. And I don't know the directions well enough to do it, but Grim, so no pleasantries, but just uses the 25 words to basically give her directions. Including mentioning somewhere in there they mention following the creepy stick figures. They do not otherwise explain. But the instructions other than that are very good.
One moment.
Sure.
Noted. Coming with my current brood of 5. We'll be there by morning. We'll keep an eye out for creepy figures. Not my first haunted trip.
All right. And I think Grim at that point finally like a bit reluctant, like has also been basically the whole time they were resting was giving Bosun. They got Bosun back first, and then began to just sort of spent the rest of the time giving scritches and pets and enjoying his presence after his brief non-presence, and will then sort of go poking around just enough to be confident that like they're used to not necessarily being able to find Corinne if there's things going on, but they pretty quickly, when they can't find any of them, it dawns on them that they probably missed the trip to the school, so they'll just go back to hiding in the classroom and hanging out with Bosun until the others return.
Yeah, you hear a cacophony coming from the dining area. It appears that either dinner is happening or not a bad one. Just
yeah.
It is marked at how different the vibe is now that everyone is not under some sort of weird mind control to make them quiet and obedient.
That probably makes Grim feel better. Like they don't want to go be part of it, and they'll probably like send Bosun down just to sort of peek at and make sure that there's not something terrible happening. That is in fact just like rowdy dinner time. And then they will continue to hide in the classroom. But they feel a little lighter.
Yeah, Bosun reports that the two teachers, question mark, Ola and Dimitri are sitting not at the head table but at the tables with the kids, joking, genuinely seems to be telling stories, are making sure everyone eats, but also getting to know all of these kids that are now theirs, question mark. They don't know. They are taking it one step at a time. All they can do is the next right thing.
Grim approves from a safe distance.
Alrighty. Not much long after, probably like maybe an hour later, maybe two. Dinner is winding down. You see kids start to kind of peel away out of the dining hall and away from the warmth there to go to their dormitories. In twos and threes. You notice they don't seem to be caring over much about the gender, quote unquote, of the assigned dormitories. It's just like, whatever.
Grim saw this coming from the very first voice. Boys is this way, girls is this way. Checks out for several different reasons at once. Yes.
No, they seem to be just choosing whatever dormitory they want to go to and going to that one. With no rhyme or reason to it, appears. It almost seems to be more by ages, like that's the little kids' dormitory and that's the big kids' dormitory. Like
that also makes
it almost
seems
sense. To be breaking out more like that than it's actually breaking out like. Yeah, and that's when your ragged band of bandits arrive.
Well, here we are back at the school. That, I guess, isn't really a school anymore. Hold on, I'll go into the kitchen and take a look. What food might be there for you? So that is what Eliana does.
Sure.
Yeah.
You see that there's still a pot of stew in the stove, area on the stove fires that has been kind of bubbling away. It's not like burning or scalding or anything like that. It's just staying warm. There's a couple of baskets of bread. Ola kind of looks up at you from where she's doing dishes in the sink, and she kind of gives you she's out of her shock and kind of in the what the fuck is this? I don't even know. I guess this is my life now phase of whatever this is, and she just, well, you're late for dinner. You want some?
I would, but first we've got There were more children in the woods who escaped from the school, and what with it snowing, we thought this was going to be a better place for them than the woods would be.
Well, I don't know fuck about woods, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know much about the woods either. They don't. Isn't very woodsy.
Yeah, I mean, Lusket's woodsy, but, like, I spent my life out on the water, in my boat that
No.
doesn't fucking exist anymore. Okay, so, yeah, bring them in, I guess.
No woods at all to be found there unless they're under your feet. Yeah, I'll bring them in. What's your name?
My name's Ola.
Nice to meet you. I'm Eliana.
Nice to meet you, Aliana. Yeah, bring them in, get them settled. The dining room is nice and warm. We shut off some of the bigger rooms to just keep the warmth there. So, it should be nice and comfy. I will bring out another round of bread and stew.
Very good, thank you. And she will go get the kids.
Okay.
Bring them in for second dinner. Second round of dinner.
Second round of dinner. Dimitri grins and stands as Corinne. I know Bones is gonna probably escort them into the dining room. Are you gonna go with them?
Sure.
Stretta, kind of leads the, like, sulking probably is the correct term for the walk that is happening. This is the defeated, like, yeah, you're right, but foot dragging, like, like they definitely saw the wisdom that y'all were laying down about. No, you can't keep all these kids in the woods over winter, but. Oh, what if they could, though?
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, we don't have to like it.
They're gonna eat your stew, but they're not gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna think it tastes good.
No, it's the worst stew we've ever had.
Can I
That
have
fills us up.
seconds?
Anyway.
They head in. Some of them are wearing, like, war paint. Like, it's bad. Like, seeing them in the light, seeing them not by firelight, but in, like, genuine, like, torchlight in a well-lit room. Some of these kids are looking rough.
Oh.
And not, like, rough, but, like, not, like, rough in, like, a...
Not like they need healing,
Not like
but
they need healing, but, like, in a Lost Boys, like, Peter Pan sort of way. Like,
Oh.
if no one's gonna make me take a bath, I don't need a bath.
Aw.
Type of way.
I love the ball.
Kids.
Mouse immediately goes and sits on the hearth. Dimitri is just like, he laughs a little bit and starts handing out bowls. Like, he goes into the kitchen and comes back out with bowls of food, and he's like, all right, come on, get fed, please. Well, worry about the bathing later. We will be bathing here. Like, I've got like 3 rules, and one of them take a bath. Gosh, you all stink. That's what you've been doing. You've just been rolling in the woods, or like, and he's genuinely like obviously, like, some of them are starting to like grin at him as he's like teasing them a little bit, but it's well natured enough that they seem to be like understanding that he's definitely. He's not mocking them. He's definitely laughing with them and not at them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, look at this one. Look at this one. Are you a gnome? How are you so tiny? So, as he hands out bowls of food, as he's not allowed in the kitchen for any extended period of time. If he stays in the kitchen for very long, Ola shoos him out. She's like, get the fuck out of my kitchen. He's like, I will stay the fuck out of your kitchen, okay. He's like, then he looks at Bones, and Bones is just like, he's like, are you sure you want to leave us in fucking charge of all these kids? And she's like, yeah, they'll get over the cursing, and they just think it's funny.
At this commotion, I think Grim can't resist anymore and does come about halfway down the stairs.
Yeah.
At which point Bosun, who is now visible again, sees the group and comes flying, like zooming the rest of the way down the stairs to circles Corinne, circles Eliana, sort of buzzes past Bones, and then comes back to circle Eliana again, and then basically arrives in front of Corinne and just sort of drops in the way that he does when he fully expects her to catch him.
Is he visible?
He is visible, yes. He is visible
Okay.
and chainsaw noising and waving his tentacles delightedly all this time. He wasn't gone for long, but he has a goldfish memory, and so he feels like he hasn't seen anyone in a long time.
I love him. So yeah, she does in fact catch him, and scritches behind one of his ear tufts, and it's just like, you were a bit too friendly with our tentacle friend earlier.
He makes a very
As she, like,
chainsaw noise.
I was gonna say, like, as she boops his beak.
He boops her hand very gently back with his beak.
Is it possible for you to be hostile when we tell you to be hostile to certain creatures?
He waves his tentacles very joyously, and then like does like a mock scare attack, like he's not actually trying to scare, but like he puts on his most intimidating. Let's see how good it goes. No, he's too happy to see everyone again. So like whether with a 9, like you can probably, like if you're really trying, you can probably tell what he's trying to do, but it's not impressive. Grim's just sort of is sitting down on the stairs, and he says he'll try if he's reminded.
Tell him to if he thinks about birds, then maybe that'll about how he doesn't like birds, then maybe that'll help.
That's very good. I'll try that next time. I won't tell him now. He'll forget by the next time, but I'll try to remember for the next time.
You really not like birds? Again, addressing Bosun.
He does an even worse way of being scary.
Oh, you're gonna have to do a better job of convincing them that you don't like them, though. Because that's going to convince anyone. And then just like does this like the circle hand motion, like pointing around his beak, and then boops him on the beak again.
This is what gets him into trouble. Is very mixed messaging, not from you, from him, towards everything.
It's extremely fair.
Sounds like you all had good luck with our forest-dwelling friends.
Yeah, I think with all of this outside gestures to the snow, I think they don't want to be forest dwellers as much anymore. Still don't like authority, though.
I spoke with our city-dwelling friend who might like to be a forest-dwelling friend.
Oh, good. That would make Mouse happy.
She's very interested. She'll be here tomorrow, she said, in the morning with her. And that sort of dawns on Grim that she will bring the other 5 that she's watching, and she must really not enjoy being in the city then, if she's going to ride all night. Or I don't know if she rides. Maybe she'll be a wolf.
Yeah, but getting all the children there, it's a long trip.
I'm sure she has her ways.
Maybe she can travel long distances like Kiss does.
Grim looks mystified, but also like is like not concerned. I don't think she would overtax the children, so whatever her way is, they just shrug.
Yeah.
So we'll be back to Waterdeep tomorrow, or is there more to do here?
I think we'll be on the road tomorrow.
And then...
Do you think... Sorry, go ahead.
And then try to figure out who the representative would have been? Or let that take care of itself?
I'd like to find the representative, only to try to bring some sense of... if they need some sense of order in their world that they haven't gotten. Not that kind of order, though.
Grim nods slowly, kind of a look of
Regular humanoid, chaotic order.
well, it could be. It could be that. It also occurs to me that it could be someone like me, rather than someone who is confused, which would be a different problem.
That would be a different problem, but we'll take that as it comes. I'm thinking about whether anybody in Waterdeep would need to see the evidence that I put into my bag. And I'm starting to think no, but want to get your take on that before I destroy it.
Grim does manage to control their expression before they look horrified at remembering that she's carrying a Mindflayer body onto the back. And we'll sort of glance. Is Bone still in this room too?
Yeah, she's just kind of hanging.
Okay.
She is posted on a wall at this point.
Okay. Grim looks over at Bones and at Corinne. And then lowers their voice just in case there are any lurking children. She has the headmaster in her bag. Expression like mixed, sort of still horrified but also impressed.
Corinne just kind of like opens her mouth as if to say something, and then just kind of keeps it open for a few seconds.
We can always just terrify Reg and give it to him. He'd know what to do with it. He'd know what to do with a Mind Flayer.
If he wants it, I'll give it to him.
It's more fun when we don't warn him.
Oh no.
So maybe he doesn't want it then? Or maybe he wants it, but he'll just be surprised. Is that it?
I think he'll at the very least know what to do with it.
Alright.
And that's more than any of us have.
It is.
I can write to him tonight and ask what we should do with it. He might be able to at least give us the proper way to destroy a Mind Flayer body without worrying about any sort of contamination.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because the risk of being contaminated.
She shrugs.
What sort of contamination?
Grim is looking at Eliana alarmed. What else is in that bag?
A lot of other things. Can you ask? Can you also ask Reg if I need to decontaminate the other things in my bag?
No, it's all in dimensional pockets because it's going into a bag of holding, right? I assume you didn't manage to shove a whole illithid into that little bag.
Oh no,
okay,
no.
So it wouldn't be able to contaminate other things because it's a bag.
I did wrap it up in some old clothes.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think
So
it could
those
contaminate
might,
anything else.
All right.
Grim doesn't look convinced, but is not protesting.
So those might be gone, but that won't affect anything else. Great. All right. Shall we rest up here and then go back tomorrow?
Sounds like a good idea.
I think so.
Anything else we need to do tonight other than help with dishes?
I think we killed a Mind Flayer and we're excused from dishes.
Agreed.
I won't say no to that.
So while I was scouting out the place, there are offices upstairs that I think that might be best bet of getting a decent night's sleep without a bunch of children in our hair.
What about the camp that we...
And no unseen servant?
She shrugs.
Well, we did reassemble the tent, not too far away.
You want to hike back to the tent?
Well, I brought it back a bit.
Like, a bit, but still a bit out.
There's no pillows here.
Oh!
Bones just blinks at you and is just like...
Would you like me to find you pillows? I'm quite sure I can find you pillows.
Well, don't take them from someone else.
I would not... Like, Grim just, like, not realizes that she's joking, because Grim does not think that she's joking about this, about, like, the seriousness of pillows, or about cautioning them against stealing pillows from other people. I think both of those things are serious, but they still sort of, like, are reduced to spluttering. I would not... And then pauses. I suppose it is... Well, it wasn't a military school. It's probably pillows. If I find I can find pillows. I can hike back to the tent and retrieve the pillows, and then hike them back here.
Don't hike back to the tent if you're just going to bring back pillows. We might as well just go back to the tent all together.
But there... It glances at Bones, tilts their head. These offices, they have doors.
She nods.
Glances at Corinne, head tilt.
Sorry, he threw dice at me all morning. So. Sam lifted up a blanket and you just hear skittering of dice. Just...
His bottle.
His bottle? No. Might have to just clean off the other one. Unless he's complaining about rocket juice.
Rocket juice.
Well, if there are offices upstairs and they could be searched then, and we haven't searched them yet, then I want to look in them. And then I think it'll just be a matter of whether I feel up for going back to the tent, or whether I'm cold and tired and would just rather stay here.
Why don't those of you who are good at searching things search the offices, and I will see how I can do with pillows.
That
and
works.
Then we will reconvene.
Alright.
Oh.
Corinne heads upstairs to search offices.
Poor
Bones
thing.
will also head upstairs to search offices. You don't find a whole lot. It's lots of, like, lessons plans, and you get occasional, like, odd, like, pieces of paper that are just, like, someone writing this, like, drawing the exact same line over and over and over again. Which is really creepy and weird.
Yep.
Yep.
But nothing of note. But the offices do have doors that close.
Right.
How do I do searching the dormitories for like a spare linen closet?
Oh, yeah, there's an attic that has like spare pillows, blankets, cots.
Okay. I spend the entire time that Oh, would I have had long enough to have another short rest after casting Dakaris?
Yeah, sure, I'll give you one.
Okay. Then I cast telekinesis and spend the entire time that they're searching the office, like moving. I can move an object that weighs up to 1,000 pounds. So I spend time like rigging cots and pillows and blankets into a bundle with rope, and then whenever they come back downstairs is just as I'm like holding the door open and double doors open and like carefully maneuvering it into the main room.
Sure enough.
Oh, that's
I did not steal them from any children. I found the linen closet. I did not steal them from any adults either.
She kind of just like stares at the mound of bedclothes. Just kind of like blinks a couple times, like opens her mouth as if to say something. Doesn't say anything for a couple seconds. And just
There are more pillows. If this was just how many I could get bound together at once, but I can go back for more.
I think that I am going to go back to the tent. It's nothing against your efforts. It's only that I feel like I'd rather be somewhere else for the night. Give it a night to get this place rid of the associations it had before.
Grim nods understanding.
So you don't need to get anything more on my account.
I suppose that's one more pillow.
It is one more. I'll see you. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Right. Be safe.
This was only one door. There's probably another dorm. There was probably another linen closet in the other. Elenia,
No,
would you like a walk? Are you alright going back yourself, or would you like an escort there and back? Or just back? And,
I should be all right,
you
but
understand what I'm asking?
I do. I wouldn't mind an escort, if you wouldn't mind walking me.
Let me get these upstairs.
Yeah.
Spell only lasts so long, and then and Grim will use the rest of telekinesis to navigate this up the stairs and back, and drop it at the in the hall at the top of the stairs, and we'll trot back down. I can rearrange those things when I return. Touch more pillows.
It's all right. Thank you. I will manage.
Have a good night.
You as well.
We'll just reach out and touch Kieran's shoulder, and then trot out the door after Eliana. Is Bones staying here, or is Bones heading back to the tent as well?
Bones is staying here. You see her kind of steal a pillow and a blanket and head up to the offices.
Grim makes like an "I'm watching you" gesture at her, but is kidding, mostly.
She laughs at you.
Walk Eliana back to the tent. And make sure the unseen servant is dead. Grim is assuming the unseen servant is doing a magnificent job. Like, they hate that this is their assumption, but they assume the unseen servant is doing a better job of taking care of the horses than they possibly could.
Probably,
We'll double check just to confirm.
Yeah. The horses are happy. They've been like washed and brushed, and they are living their best life.
We'll spend a minute or two giving Heather some pats. Are you sure you'll be alright here by yourself?
Yeah, I think I didn't want to spend more time in another one of those schools, even though it's not a school anymore.
Grim nods.
I'll be asleep when I hope. And it'll be safe here. The horses are here. I'll get Quiche set up. And yeah. I should be alright.
Alright. And if you need anything, I suppose be out of range.
Yeah, I'll be out of range too, but
I can leave Bosun.
if I need anything, I'll run. I've been in worse. I've set up in worse situations before.
Grim is definitely wearing an expression of like, it sounded better. Like now it sounds worse. Like they understand that like this is meant to be reassuring, but also like I'll run. Like if I need anything, all right.
Or I'll fly.
There, that's much better. Thank you.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I could leave Bosun if that would be helpful.
Sure, if Current doesn't object.
Oh no.
I know how much she likes him.
He really doesn't sleep. He might enjoy doing laps. So if he wakes you, I apologize.
All right. And he and Quiche have learned how to keep to themselves. So I think that should be okay.
All right. Sleep well then.
You do the same.
Grim will head back to the house.
Okay.
Bosun's instructions are basically go check on the tent every hour or so. Try not to disturb Eliana. Grim would not remember to say or quiche. So whether quiche is disturbed in the night is an open question.
Excellent.
All right. So everyone settles in for a night's sleep. We're gonna call it for tonight.
Excellent.
Delightful.
Oh man.
Everything happened.